Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator.
Classified my ass.
Government is another way to say better than you.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show.
Want the sackheads to give you a blessing?
8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. It's a Friday. The weekend is almost here for everybody. Are you ready? We're going to go over a lot today. Well, hopefully a lot. If ever time should come when vain and aspiring men shall possess the highest seats in government, our country will stand in need of experienced patriots to prevent its ruin. Samuel Jackson. Oh. Well, I've been working with this new board and everything, and oh my God, is it... I mean, the board's pretty easy, but I'm trying to do it so I can get phone interviews done. And it's just been a bugger and a half. But I think I finally got it. I'll know tonight. Oh, man. We're going to go over a bunch of stuff. But listen, if you're listening, you want to jump in and ask questions, you can go to shrmedia.com. There's a little link on the right-hand side that says live chat. I am logged in, but sometimes, I'm bouncing around on different pages. It takes me a couple minutes to get to it. So, be more than glad to have you in there. Got some news out of Pennsylvania. This was kind of disturbing when I saw it. The headline reads, Judge sentenced to 28 years for selling kids for cash to prison. So what this scumbag actually did, wait a minute, let me be good.
Warning. The following video clip contains strong...
Just to give a warning to everybody. I know yesterday I let a major one slip. I was kind of aggravated with Lindsey Graham, and I let a major one slip. But we are allowed to, but it still doesn't mean it's okay to do it. But all right, this judge in Pennsylvania, he was convicting kids and sending them to prison because he was getting cash on the side for doing it. Well, guess what? He got 28 years in prison. 28 years this judge is going to have to do. It says he was taking in like $1 million in bribes. Well, hopefully that $1 million was worth 28 years of your life. Now, what is it? Supreme Court has already tossed 4,000 convictions issued by that judge between 2003 and 2008, saying he violated the constitutional right of the juveniles, including the right to legal counsel and the right to intelligently enter a plea. This guy's just a scumbag. Hopefully he becomes someone's bitch while he's in there. It just... I don't want to speak harm on people, but some people just... They scream that they deserve it. And okay, these kids' cases were overturned. That's fine. What has it done to them? What has it already done to these kids? I mean, how many of them did several years in juvie? And juvie ain't no cakewalk nowadays. I don't think it ever was a cakewalk. I never been in it, but I know there's some people that would have bet I would have been in juvie. I had people betting I wouldn't be making it to 21 either. And I'll tell you, fire company. I started volunteering for a fire company at 16. I was still a screw up, but it kept me from going down a path I'm glad I didn't take. Without the fire company instilling some stuff, and it kept building and building over the years to the person I am now. Hey, I look at it this way: if you cannot laugh at yourself and make fun of yourself, just stay in your house. Just stay in your house. I'll make fun of myself. I bust on anybody and everybody, and I bust on myself. Now, we all know about the shooting of the reporter and the cameraman the other day. Sick, heinous crime. Sick and heinous. The shooter knew the cameraman. There was issues several years prior. And I love that the right is pushing back on this. This is not an attack on a whole sexual orientation. This is an attack on what you guys just did, showing your hypocrisy, showing you how much of an idiot you sounded like. So if everybody remembers, there was that one idiot that opened fired in a church. He was white. He killed a bunch of blacks. He had a picture taken where he was holding the Confederate flag. So everybody equaled that together. And we must ban the Confederate flag. Look at the evil that carries it. Well, now you have a gay black guy that just killed 2 white people. So people are saying it's time to ban the gay pride flag. And someone actually on Twitter, I had it up last night, and I don't know what I did with it. It was funny as hell. Let me look through my list here real quick to see if I saved it. I thought I did. Because this schmuck, the person posted that, we have to get rid of this flag. It promoted the murdering of these 2 people. And the person said a flag cannot equate to the hatred of the man. And the Twitter lit up there, people making fun. The left did this. We're giving it back. And they don't know why. They don't see the connection. Mental midgets on the left, they are. All right, trying to pull out a little Yoda on. Didn't work out. But, okay, so a white person shoots a bunch of black people. It's the flag's fault. It's this fault. It's that fault. A gay black man shoots white people. It's the gun's fault. We need to ban it. You want to say that again? I can knock you upside the head till it finally sinks in that your stupidity is catching. It does not equate to the gun. We never blame the pressure cooker. We never blame the rental car, the diesel fuel, the fertilizer, the barrels. We never blame the nails, the ball bearings. We don't blame the car when a drunk driver kills somebody, which happens at a higher rate than gun violence. Murder by vehicle is a higher rate than gun violence, but we blame the person when that happens. We don't blame the car. But when a white person shoots, it's the gun. We must ban that evil thing. The only thing, you mental midgets, and you can't get it through your heads, what you can't understand is the gun didn't do it. I have taken my gun. I've sat it on a chair. I put the clip there. I told him, go ahead. Do your evil. I sat there for 2 hours looking at a gun. I figured, okay, it cannot load itself. So I put the clip in. I racked it back. Put it back down. I said, go ahead. Do your duty. I sat there for another 4 hours and nothing. So I must have a defective gun because it did not kill anybody. And yes, I'm being a smartass. I never actually did that. That'd be irresponsible. And no, I'm not an irresponsible gun owner. My daughter knows gun safety already. She's 11. She's known it for several years. She knows not to touch it. She knows that if she wants to touch it, she's just to come get me. I will make sure the gun's safe for her to handle. She has a BB handgun. Then we go in my backyard. I let her shoot it. I teach her proper gun safety. So much so that one day I was being a smartass and I had the BB gun. And it has these air tubes that you pop in. So I walked up behind her and I double checked. I made sure there was no BBs in it. And I fired the air. And it made her jump. That was the whole purpose. And she turned around and she looked at me. She goes, Dad, you told me never, ever, ever, whether it's a play gun or not, you do not point it at somebody and fire. I looked at her and said, you're right. Daddy's wrong. I'm going in the room. I'm grounded in the room. You're right. And she got a big kick out of that I admitted to her that she was right. But she was. I was irresponsible on that, even though it was basically to me a toy gun. And it just, she knows safety. She knows. You ask her, what happens if you pick that gun up? It can kill me or kill my friends or kill somebody else. Is it loaded or unloaded? It's loaded. All guns are considered loaded. Okay, I know. Hey, my daughter knows. I was raised in an environment at my grandfather's place. My one grandfather who lived on a farm. There was guns everywhere. And my grandfather had the same rule. In fact, the rule I use on my daughter is the one I got from my grandfather. If you see a gun and you want to touch it, you want to learn about it, come get me. He was more than glad. He was more than glad. But if he saw one of us touching those guns without him there or one of my uncles, his sons, there, he would have beat us. He would have beat us senseless. This is an old German on a farm. He spent his whole life on a farm. God rest his soul. It's not negative what I just said. People know what I'm talking about who know German farmers. They are very strict, these are the rules. It was what it was, but he taught me gun safety. In fact, especially in high school, I was a screw-up. I admit it. I goofed off. I screwed up. I just did what I wanted to do. Wasn't the smartest thing. So my friends thought I always thought, screw up. And one of my close friends, a best friend of mine, he had a place up in the Poconos where his father did. And we would go up there and shoot guns. And it was like one of the first times we went up there. And it was just me and him. And he got a little nervous and we started firing. And he looked, he's like, you're pretty safe with a gun. He goes, I figured I was going to have to yell at you several times. I was like, why? I'm like, I'm not going to play around. It's a gun. It can kill. I'm actually a little bit more nervous than anything because I don't want to, ricochet anything. So from then on, whenever we went up there, he always went to bed early and we'd have a group of people and he's in charge. He knows the rules of the place and he's the safest one here with the guns. That was my grandfather. My grandfather taught me that. Very much so. And there is some irresponsible gun owners. And most of those, if you look, they're liberals. They don't think they have to take the class. They don't have to have knowledge. They think a gun will just act on its own. I don't know. But why, every time it happens, do they want to take guns from law-abiding citizens? They want to make it harder for law-abiding citizens to get guns. And that only creates one thing. Victims and corpses. Victims and corpses, that's it. And yes, I know from experience my father was shot. While he was at work, he got shot. It was in New Jersey, the communist state. New Jersey, the armpit. Oh, dang it, New Jersey, that has strict gun laws. Yes, they have the quote-unquote concealed carry permits. You have to tell them why you need it. And saying it's my Second Amendment or the right to protect myself is not a correct answer in the communist state of New Jersey. And yes, there is a Republican governor that's trying to run for the president of the United States as a Republican, and he does not allow guns in his state. Don't let him fool you. Christie is a Democrat. He is not for pro-guns. Plain and simple, he is against guns. I may not live there anymore, but I have a lot of friends that still live there. A lot of close friends. In fact, 2 best friends still live up there. And I hear about what's going on. I heard about several years ago when a group said, ooh, we got a Republican governor. Hey, can we get these gun laws relaxed? And he went, no. Anything, I'm going to make them stronger. But now that he's running for president, I got to be a good boy. I got to make it look good that I am pro-gun. I have done a committee to look at our rules and laws about guns. You fat fudger. You are nothing but a lying piece of crap. Go back to New Jersey, stick your head up these Democrats' ass like you do, and get off the main stage. Your numbers are so low, it's not funny. And that, I would say that hurts you. Everybody knows you're anti-gun, you moron. But my father got shot. He couldn't defend himself because the state laws. They create victims and corpses because the criminals, by definition, do not follow the law. Because if they did, murder is illegal. Armed robbery is illegal. They wouldn't be doing it. So, adding one more sensible law, one more. And I love sensible law. Tell me what the sensible law is. I don't know. I mean, you go to any anti-gun, all you'll hear is, sensible gun laws and extended background checks and gun registrations will do it. How is a gun registering my gun with the government going to stop a criminal who doesn't own legal guns to begin with from committing a crime? The background check that I go through goes through federal. And it's back within 5-10 minutes. Unless there's an issue. Then there's a hold. But otherwise, it's 3 days for him to do it. And it takes 5-10 minutes, depending on how busy they are. And yes, I've gone through it, because every time I purchase a gun, it has to go through a background check. Even I have a concealed carry permit, and every time I buy a gun, it goes through the background check. I can understand it. I'm not arguing against that. But you don't need stricter regulations, because you know what? My brother he owns guns. And sometimes I want, hey, I like that. And he's like, yeah, I don't like it anymore. I'm like, okay, here's the cash for it. Give it to me. He knows my background is clean. Why as family members do we have to? Okay, now we got to go down to the gun shop. Now I got to pay the gun shop fees for them to do it. Now I got to pay the background check fees. Up yours. I'm getting tired of it. And it's sensible gun laws. What are the sensible gun laws you want to push through? They only know the word sensible gun laws. That's it. We got to get sensible gun laws. Mental midgets, one and all. Now I hear Kmart is not going to be selling AR-15s. It's not a political issue. Bullshit. You're folding the pressure from Bloomberg groups, but you don't want to admit it because you know you'll catch a bunch of shit. Well, guess what? I never bought guns from you, never will. Plain and simple. No type of firearm will I buy from Walmart, ever. Whew, that was way left turn. How the heck did that happen? But we're finding out more about the shooter. There was nothing that would have interceded this. Nothing. Nothing would have stopped this shooting. Nothing. But I noticed one thing, and I do find it funny. That Obama comes out right after, and we need gun control. I can't remember her last name. First name was Kate, the one that was killed by the illegal immigrant in California, San Francisco. I didn't hear Obama coming out on anything on that. He kept his mouth shut. Why? Because he's allowing illegal immigrants to be in this country. He is the one who's supposed to be enforcing all laws, not picking and choosing, all laws. And he allows them to be here. That blood is on that man's hands. I don't care what you liberals, left-wing, socialists, pieces of crap think. The blood is on Obama's hands for allowing it. And don't tell me he had the highest record of deportation. Yeah, take a look at those deportations, you mental midget. He has changed the way it's recorded. And if you come up to the border to come in legally, and you don't have the correct paperwork, and they turn you around, he counts that as a deportation. We tracked that person down and deported him. No, you didn't. The person didn't have the right papers to get in, so they had to be turned around. Never has that been counted before. He does it so he can pad his stats. His numbers are down on actual deportations. He has released more criminals that were in the possession of ICE to be deported. He has then released them into our society. And yes, they have felonies. Some of them were wanted for murder, and they were released by this POS president. Commercial break. Be back in a few.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. You didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press Radio, and YouTube through the SHR Media page for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from Reaver of Common Sense, and we have moved to a new night and time. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com. You will catch the Reaver of Common Sense uncensored, unfiltered, and only on shrmedia.com.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. All right, we're going to switch up gears a little bit. When we talking about guns, I'm very strong about guns. As I said, my father was shot. He wasn't able to defend himself. And it pisses me off when these left-wingers they don't know squat about weapons, and they like to run their mouths. I heard someone talking about how, why do you need a machine gun? Why do you need a machine gun AR-15? Moron, it's not a full automatic weapon. Full automatic weapons have been legal for the longest time. Now, if you want to buy a fully automatic weapon, you have to get a special tax stamp from ATF and become an FFL, I believe it is, and then you give up your constitutional rights, and they have the right to come in and search your house anytime they want to make sure that said gun is put away properly. But now you're going to complain about it. AR-15, they call it an assault weapon. It's an assault weapon. AR-15 is an assault weapon like a friggin' Pinto with pinstripes is a racing car. That's what they had the ban on the assault weapons because of appearance. Don't think I'm telling you the truth. Look it up. Google it. Google it, Moogly. It will be there. They don't like the pistol grip. They don't like the stock that slides in and out. That just extends. Ooh, I'm a taller person. Great. The foregrip. That's what they complain about. It's appearance, not capability. Because there's a .223 rifle, hunting rifle, that shoots the same bullet, the same rate. Duh. That is not an assault weapon. It is appearance that they have an issue with. That's all. And you morons, and we need to ban assault weapons. Why do you need an assault weapon? Why do you need that AR-15? Well, my response is, number one, if I have to explain it to you, you'll never understand. Number two, why do we need cars that do 100, 150 miles per hour? Why do we need motorcycles on the street that do 100, 150 miles per hour? Why do we need any vehicle that goes over, I think, what, top speed is 70, 75? So why do we need those cars? We don't. And it's the exact same principle. And don't talk, well, a gun kills people. So do cars, especially when you drive them at a high rate of speed. All right. I'm going to get off that subject. Have you ever noticed that Jeff Dunham's dummy, Walter, looks exactly like Obama's dummy, Joe Biden? Seriously, you got to get the pictures and put them next to each other. They look exactly alike. Biden looks exactly like Walter. Yep, they're both dummies. Oh, boy. Someone was going on today on a friend of mine's page about socialism and how great it is and that and this and this and that. It just makes me sick. I don't understand. If you want socialism, you want to turn the United States into the European Union, we want to be just like them, go the frig over there. It'd be a lot easier than the minority of this country. And yes, you are the minority. You just scream the loudest at this point. But you're waking up a lot of people. You are waking up a lot of people that are tired of your bullshit. You are not the majority. Go the hell over there. There's plenty of countries, and I keep saying it every week, there's plenty of countries that fit what you want. Go there. Save yourself the argument. Save yourself the fight. Go there. Come on. Go. Stop trying to turn our country, which we have stood against. Stop trying to turn us into that. Not like they also went into this whole rant. Well, this is all socialism. The Department of Agriculture is socialism. Department of this, Department of... Shut the frig up. I get so sick of it. Well, your Social Security, your Social Security disability is socialism. No, it isn't. Socialism is you're getting something that you didn't pay for. People put money into Social Security disability. It's taken out of your paycheck, Momo. It's not socialism. If you paid for it, it's not socialism. And yes, even Medicaid and Medicare is not socialism. You pay taxes on that. You pay for that. Biden would be disastrous president. Finally, Rubio says something that is smart. And it's really scary because he's the senator for my county. It scares me. But he will not be re-upping for senator. Thank God. He's not even a rhino. He's a Democrat. And there's so many Democrats that say they're Republican in the Republican Party. It's sickening. It really is. He has a lot of experience at being wrong, Rubio quiped during his interview with conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt on Thursday. Oh, boy. Hey, at least he's attacking somebody else. I still have to... Oh, my God, the polls are out. It's just... There was the 9-year-old killed out in Ferguson with all these riots and looting and all that happy horse shit that's going on. And there was some gunfire exchanged, a week or two ago, and it killed a 9-year-old little girl. Now, that's the one you should be standing up for, not that Michael Brown. And you shouldn't be trying to do this for Michael Brown. This 9-year-old. Yeah, I can see that. But no, we're not going to do that because they knew that the little girl was killed by another black person. And yep, they have the person in custody. Freaking disgusting. A 9-year-old girl's life has been cut short because some moron just thought he was Mr. Joe Cool. And I could shoot wherever I want. I could shoot here, shoot there. You're responsible for what lies beyond your target. And if you don't understand that, I will explain it to you. When you have your target, whether it's paper, wood, whatever you're shooting at, that's your target. Whatever is behind it, because there's a good chance your bullet's going to go into that target and out of that target, depending on what caliber you're shooting. And it's going to travel on and on. And if it strikes a person that's behind your target, you are responsible for that bullet. So, you must know what your target is and what lies beyond the target. And this person did not. And he struck and killed a 9-year-old girl. And they found him in a hospital, not as a patient. He was visiting someone. And this 9-year-old girl was laying on her mother's bed doing her homework. Doing her homework. Sick bastard. And the left will try to protect him, because he should be put to death. He has no right to walk this earth at all. Trey Gowdy just made a major announcement about Trump. I'm trying to look through and explain. I went on to say, I wouldn't just limit it to what one president candidate said. I don't know if you saw what happened to San Francisco over the weekend, but someone who has been evicted from the county multiple times came back. He's sticking up for, I knew I put it up there, sorry. A lot of times I have so many articles, I read through them, but I forget what I brought the one up. But he basically stood up for Trump and his comments about illegal immigrants and the criminal faction that's coming in with those illegal immigrants. Now, by technicality, they're all criminal. Hence, illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, because they are breaking laws. Dang, my throat is... It's... They're coming out of Mexico, Central America, South America. It's not just Mexicans, but then you got a bunch of illegal immigrants coming in. By definition, they are illegal, which means they're criminals. But you do have a criminal type that is coming in. They have no problem to commit whatever crime they want, murder. And now we got that Momo out in San Francisco. His excuse is something about he dropped the gun, it went off, hit a rock, ricocheted, and hit the woman. He did not fire it on her. God, I hope his lawyer does not use that as an excuse. Number one, they can go out to the area, the crime scene, and try to find any rocks big enough that would allow a ricochet to happen and see if there's any marks on said rock. Number two, they would be able to tell by the wound, how big it is, how little it is, what kind of damage was done inside, because that'll all be indicative of a bullet being deformed from hitting a rock, which, yes, it would deform it, and it would cause a different wound pattern. The angle would be different if he walked up behind her and pulled the trigger, because you'd have a straight across a horizontal path. Whereas if he dropped the gun and hit it, which hit a rock and went up and hit this one, you'd be having a wound pattern going from almost, an angle from down to up. Easily defeated by a junior prosecutor would be able to do that. A junior coroner would pick that up. It's not that hard. It's very basic. And that defense. And as I said, I do not like to give names. The Colorado theater shooter gets 12 life sentences plus 3,318 years. If we could only make him live that long to suffer like he made other people suffer. Oh, I'm the big one on it, and I don't care if you do a heinous crime like this. I don't care if you suffer or not. You did not afford any constitutional right to your victim. Why should you be given any? And this isn't like, oh, he didn't do it. He wasn't the shooter. He's the shooter. Everybody knows it. His defense knew it. They didn't even try fighting on that. All right? So don't, well, he could be innocent. No, he's not. And I'm sorry, someone like him, he does not deserve any constitutional rights. He did not give constitutional rights to anybody that he shot. He put a lot of people through pain, misery, their families. And I know what it's like. And he's just a piece of shit garbage. All right. Anybody seen the show Mr. Robot? It's been on USA. It's basically like a hacker group trying to take over type deal. I've seen bits and pieces. They have the Mr. Robot finale got yanked. They stop it. They'll show it at a later time. Because it was going to show right after the Virginia shooting. And they said there were similarities between their scene and what happened. They felt that it would be disrespectful and not sensitive to the family by airing that. Which, I'll give them credit. They're not scrapping it. It's just they're going to give some time before they air it. You know what? I can respect that. I can respect that. Out of that, they're trying to be respectful to the families. Because if you read some of the articles, the boyfriend or the fiance saw what happened. Because he was watching the report. He saw it go down. He saw what happened go down. He saw his fiance getting murdered. So I give the network credit that they are, as they said, postponing the episode to give time for some healing to happen. Then they will put it back on. They should. That doesn't mean you can't ever air that. I just noticed Star Wars will be out soon. Woohoo! Can't wait. I won't go see it. I don't go to the movies. It's not for fear or anything. It just costs too damn much anymore. Okay, I like 2 tickets. Oh, I got to take out a mortgage on my house. Okay, here, sign that. All right, I like 2 popcorn, 2 large drinks, and the package of Skittles. What do you mean I have to take a 3rd and 4th mortgage out on my house to buy that? No, thank you. And now they are, because their prices are so high, and people have been sneaking in food, they are now patting people down and searching purses. I just wait for the time someone starts screaming,
He grabbed me! He grabbed me in an unsensitive spot! He grabbed me in the wrong spot!
Oh, that's going to be funny. They have these high school... these high school student people that basically that's one of their jobs that they take, and it's a good learning experience, but they have them searching people. They don't know what the hell they're searching for. Because if it was for weapons, they don't know what the hell they're looking for. No, they don't. And searching someone's body, they don't know. Yeah. They're just trying to catch contraband of food from being brought in. Ann Coulter had some rather harsh words for Fox News host Bill O'Reilly. Yeah, she basically called him a mental midget. And those are my terms. She called him a good God, he's stupid. My parents were listening and watching him for a while, and even they got sick of him. And I can't stand him. He's ego-driven. He just likes the sound of his own voice. And no one is right. Only him. That's not going to happen because the Fourth Amendment says that if you were born here, you're an American and you can't kick out Americans out. The host told Trump during the interview, "You mental midget, you're reading it wrong. Nowhere does it say you are guaranteed to get American citizenship. Nowhere. Nowhere." I'll even do some sign language for you. Oh, time for a commercial. This is Reaver of Common Sense with your host, Jersey Joe.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press Radio, and YouTube through the SHR Media page for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from Reaver of Common Sense, and we have moved to a new night and time. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com, you will catch the Reaver of Common Sense uncensored, unfiltered, and only on shrmedia.com.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense with your host, me, the lovable Jersey Joe. So, come across some articles, and a good friend of mine sent me this, and I laugh. Paranoia in Hillary's campaign. They have become paranoid, said Clinton Foundation President and CEO Donna Shalala in recently uncovered audio about Bill and Hillary Clinton. Paranoia, thinking people are out to get them. This right-wing conspiracy stuff. Everything, if it's negative about her, it's a right-wing conspiracy. Oh, they're conspiring against me. Zeke Miller of the Times Magazine just reported that Hillary Clinton's camp believes they have been infiltrated by undercover operatives from Project Veritas. Infiltrated. I don't think that woman's been infiltrated in a long time. Hillary Clinton's campaign offices around the country have been put on alert after at least 2 women approached Iowa staff under the guise of being supporters in an apparent effort to catch the campaign engaging in improper or illegal activities, a Clinton campaign official said. It's funny because I know this project, I haven't looked through it, but I trust my friend pretty much. We talked about it at pretty good length. And he said that there's video of the Clintons campaign, the way they're doing voter registration. Now, you can't go up to a person and ask them if they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton or not. You can't come out and ask it. And then, oh, you are? Okay, you want to register? Oh, you're not? Okay, have a nice day. That they can't do because that's picking and choosing, and that's against. What they do is they walk up and start a conversation and get bullshit and, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, you're voting for Hillary? Have you registered? Oh, no, here you go. You know, we can help you with that. I still think it's shenanigans. Evil shenanigans. I mean, right after the Michael Brown shooting, I mean, the Democrat Party ran there and, oh, look, setting up tables for registration. Yeah, they didn't say it's Democrat, but that's why they put it there, because they knew they'd be getting some of the votes, which really disgusts, because Democrats are not out for the minorities at all. As our comm guy, Daniel said, we don't comment on either real or imagined investigation, but the level of paranoia within the Clinton campaign is certainly interesting. I love the words they have. The comms guy. Infiltrated. Undercover operatives. Right-wing conspiracy. Makes me laugh. If you really have nothing to hide, perhaps they will allow one of our reporters to access as a member of the press pool covering the campaign, since Hillary just denied poll access to David of the Daily Mail. We hear that there is an immediate spot open. And it's not going too good for her. No, it isn't. And I like seeing that. The woman does not deserve it. Does not deserve it. Especially after she makes comments like, she's comparing the RNC and the GOP candidates. She compares them to terrorists. This is like, God knows, third or fourth time that the Democrats have done it. And it's sickening. It's disgusting. Terrorists are killing people. Terrorists are killing women. Republicans are not. Democrats do not want to take the fight to ISIS. Democrats don't want to clean up the Middle East, where women are treated as lessers, where women are murdered, where women are raped, and it's not a crime. That is the war on women that the Democrats will not touch. They don't want no part of it. They ignore it like it's not happening. They have fun and love it when all these Muslims come into the country and they treat their women as second-rate citizens. Maybe even not that good. And the Democrats say, let's allow them to do that. That's their customs. That's the war on women. The war on women. Another one I think I need to ram my head into the wall to try to think as stupidly as they do. There's no war on women in the United States. It is another thing that they bring up and their fear-mongering that scares their base into voting for them, because they know they have nothing else to campaign on. They have nothing else to campaign on, so they accuse the RNC of being terrorists. They're just like ISIS. They're terrorists. You're the one that armed them as Secretary of State, Hillary. You armed ISIS. And don't believe me, it's coming out. All the documents are showing that's what was going on over there. They were arming ISIS. Hillary Clinton and Obama were arming them. They created it. They created this little monster. So, if anyone's like ISIS, it would be you, Hillary. And usually when she comes out with something exaggerated as that, I start taking a look. And it's usually because she's done it. So she wants to push it and say they did it. Get out their head and they're terrorists. So when it comes out that she armed them, no, he didn't. They're just trying to get back at me because I said they're like ISIS. They do it all the time. Freaking mental midget. And what scares me is, and send the hate mail and send it in, please. In 2008, with Hillary running, I thought she would make a good president. But then all this came to light, and I was still gullible when it came to politics. I wasn't looking stuff up as much as I do now. And then everything went to hell, and I'm going, holy shnikes. I don't know what would have been worse. Her or having Obama. I think it's pretty much a tie. So I apologize for having those types of thoughts several years ago. And I know people, you're not a conservative. Well, you know what? I was uneducated in politics not too long ago. And yes, I took a crash course. It's not that hard when you put the time and effort into it. I was wrong. I mean, I thought there was some great things about Hillary. Whew. I know. You're going to hate me for it. Will you still respect me in the morning? I don't hide nothing. And you want to know something? I'll tell you. I do not hide nothing. If I make a mistake, I admit it. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So, Minnesota terror suspect gets a Class A trucking license. Now, this guy cannot fly in the United States because he is on the no-fly list and has been arrested by the FBI for terroristic activities and isn't being watched for terroristic activities, but yet Minnesota has paid for his training to become a truck driver, a Class A, and it gets better. It gets better. He has applied to get the endorsement to become a school bus driver. Does anybody see an issue here? This guy is being watched as a terrorist. He's had ties in the past of certain activities that are linked to the terrorist. The ACLU recently sued the TSA and Homeland Security to have his name removed, and they said no. No. Now, he may be a threat to civil aviation or national security. And it has been determined that you are an individual who represents a threat of engaging in or conducting a violent act of terrorism and who is operationally capable of doing so. In 2007, in 2007, a U.S. citizen of Egyptian descent was arrested in Kenya by FBI for suspected of leaving a terror training camp in Somalia. And now this guy can drive a tractor and trailer. Yeah, that's smart, Minnesota. Real smart of you. And then he wants, like I said, he wants to have a school bus endorsement, which means he can then drive a school bus full of kids. Anybody see an issue with that? I hope so, because, well, it's just, you ever got to a point where something is speechless, where it just angers you or upsets you so much that you can't say anything about it because the stupidity level is off the charts? Well, that's one of them. Building an Islamic State in America, one church at a time. And across Europe, thousands of churches have been closed, and many of them have become mosques. St. Mark's Cathedral in London survived Nazi bombers in World War II, but fell to a new invasion and became a new Peckham Mosque. And I think I discussed it yesterday. I saw a little video, Luton, England, where it's so overrun with Muslim that as citizens of Britain, they cannot drive down the streets in that town unless you are Muslim. You will be attacked. You will be harassed. Everything. They're starting to take over. And if anybody doubts what's happening in this country, just look at England and the issues it's having with the extreme Muslims. And you'll see where we will be in about 10 years. Now, that time frame can get sped up, so I'm not going to argue that. But a conservative view is 10 years, that's how bad we're going to be. And yes, Britain has a bad issue right now, to the point they have talked about trying to kick people out of their country. And not citizens like British, they're talking Muslims. And then St. Mark's Cathedral is now a mosque. I mean, that's almost as bad as putting a mosque at Ground Zero in New York. That is a huge slap in the face of everybody. And there's Americans that, no, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nope. Yeah, I see a lot of issues. But as churches are shutting down, mosques are going up, and it's an issue all over the world. There's Syracuse, New York. The Trinity Catholic Church has become a mosque. Despite the church being protected by the Landmark Preservation Board, crosses were cut down and painted over. How we are allowing this infiltration is beyond me. And it's happening. 75% of the refugees colonizing Syracuse are Muslim. If you look, they're all going in certain areas and taking over certain areas. And there's been cases where they're trying to push sheer law. They want it. And they're trying to push, saying, well, we're Muslim, and that's what we follow, and we shouldn't have to follow your customs. You are in the United States. You assimilate to us. We do not assimilate to you. How we are allowing this to happen, and it's happening from the inside out. I mean, we have a president that allows the Brotherhood of Muslim, who has been an enemy of the United States for decades. They were still enemy of the states, and he allowed them into the White House. They now sit on boards and committees and all that. They're the heads of departments, and we are being infiltrated from the inside out. And Obama has allowed it and pushed it. And it's not a conspiracy theory. It's not tinfoil hat talking. Look it up, people. It's there. I don't know what's worse, that or the Agenda 21. We need to do something. We need to stop the flow. We need to stop the flow of the Islamic takeover of this country. DNC to vote on resolution supporting Black Lives. They are going to do a resolution and say they agree with everything they're doing. Sports writer blames NRA for Virginia shooting. Go back to dealing with sports. I don't know why these sports commentators have to put their nose into politics. If you want to do politics, please. Then learn more. I mean, I don't know everything about politics. I'm just a mouth, basically. But they shoot their mouths off about stuff, and it annoys the crap out of me. MSNBC, in their proof that they're trying to straighten out their news agency, has demoted Al Sharpton's show. It is now only on Sunday early mornings. I haven't seen the exact time, but that is pretty much the death blow for that show. They're kind of scared to cancel it altogether because they know he's going to start hopping up and down saying it was for racist reasons. What else does he do? And Trump just announced he and Cruz are going to be doing a rally in Washington, D.C. against the Iran deal. This is one of the things that both Trump and Cruz have been working on to do together. I believe it was Cruz and his campaign's idea. All right, everybody have a great weekend. Oh, my God. You have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Tuesday. I won't be here Monday, but there will be one of my older shows playing, so stay tuned and listen to it Monday at this time. This is the Reaver of Common Sense. Go to my webpage, reaverofcommonssense.com. You can catch me Monday through Friday at noon and Wednesday at 8 p.m., Both times are Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a great weekend and be safe.
shall fade to black again and again. This storm that's broken me, my only friend, yeah. In this river